everyone, I'm TH and welcome to Elder Scrolls Legends. What is Elder Scrolls Legends, you ask? Well, it's a collectible card game in the Elder Scrolls universe. Not much more to say about this one. It's available in open beta, and this is what it looks like. So this is the single player campaign, one of the missions. I am this cat lady. I choose to be a cat woman, and we're fighting some soldier. And it's a first turn, so I can play a card. Well, it's kind of similar. So just to get you in the right mindset, it's kind of similar to Hearthstone. It's not my Hearthstone though, but it has a lot of shared mechanics. Or to other classical CCGs like Magic or something. The mana works, which is called Magic in this game, works very similar to Hearthstone. We start with 1 and it goes up, like the maximum goes up every turn, and we fill it up to maximum every turn. However, it caps out at 12 and not at 10 as in Hearthstone. I'm going to do a lot of Hearthstone comparisons, sorry, but it's the game in the genre right now, so that makes sense, right? So we play the Sunhold Medic, which costs 1 Arcana, is a 1/1 creature, and it has a summon effect, which is an effect that comes into play when I play this creature, which is a waste of my time right now because I don't have another creature out there, and it buffs it. Well, actually, no, it's not. I've always forgot. You actually can use those on the just played creature itself. So we can play the Sunhold Medic over here, and the only creature or the only target we can choose is itself. So we buff it. It's a 1/3 for 1. That's actually pretty decent. So there we go. That's our turn, right? Okay, cool. We end the turn, and it's the opponent's turn. He's gonna playing what's this called? Shadinal Sapper. It's a 1/3 with Drain. Drain is lifesteal, so whenever he deals damage, he heals. You can heal above your max or your starting HP, so you don't have max HP. There's one thing already. Like there's one thing I want to point out, which annoys me. Every time it happens, every time the enemy plays a card, it's getting zoomed in really quickly. But only for a very short duration, and you don't have enough time, or at least it's not long for me, to read what's on the card, to see what it is, actually. So I always have to mouse over it afterwards, and there's a slight delay to that as well, which is a little annoying. Can you? No, it's not actually reacting to clicking. The battlefield is pretty nice. So yeah, we could attack him, or we could just go for face, which I probably want to do here. What can we play now? We can play a Snow Wolf. It's stronger when we have more creatures in the lane, or we can play the Orc's Clansman, which gives another creature +1/+0. I think we play the Wolf, and you may notice that there are 2 different lanes here. I'm playing on the left lane right now, and this is the standard setup. You have one regular lane, the field lane, on the left, and you have a shadow lane on the right, which has specific rules. I'm explaining them in a moment. But in various story missions, you get this changed up by having only 1 lane. I think there was even one mission with 3 lanes. I'm not 100% sure on that one though. And also a lot of times in the story campaign, the lanes have special rules and not the regular setup as a field lane and shadow lane. So, and yeah, how do lanes work? Well, you can only attack other creatures in the lane or the hero. So I cannot, if there would be another creature over here, I could not attack it with the wolf. Right now I can only attack this guy anyway though, because he has guard, which is taunt in Hearthstone. And he's a 3/3, so I can kill him if I trade the wolf. Which I probably do, yeah, because I can only play the Orc Clansman. Okay, let's play him over here just for the sake of demonstrating. So we play the Orc Clansman over here. Buff the elf. The medic, it's an elf, right? Yeah, it's a high elf. Trade the wolf for that thing, and hit him face with the elf. So you see this little cloud over here. This means this card is shrouded, which means it cannot be attacked for 1 turn. So usually in Hearthstone or in the left lane, you play a card, it's your opponent's turn. If he has creatures there already, or he plays a creature with a charge, he can attack your newly played creature. Which is, since every CCG does it, since Magic, the Gathering, is fatigued for your first turn. So you can only attack the next turn with your freshly summoned creature. However, your opponent can attack it already. Well, not so in the Shadow Lane. In the Shadow Lane, every creature is covered, or is in cover, gain cover, and can't be attacked for 1 turn. So, yeah, this is actually interesting because this changes up, like there's strategy to play creatures in one or the other lane, and it also can be interesting to like move the way of the battle, like try to force your opponent in the other lane, for example, like by playing a creature there or something along those lines. If you have the feeling, okay, my deck benefits more of the shadow lane as the opponent's one, you might want to try to keep the battle on the right side of the match and not on the left side, or the other way around, obviously. So that's kind of interesting. What did he play? He played a support card, which are basically permanent buffs. I don't think you have those in Hearthstone, right? That's one of the new mechanics. It's not really new though, that's a thing since Magic the Gathering as well. So the game has a few unique mechanics, as the lane, for example, and at least one more. I'm gonna explain those in a moment. But a lot of it is like borrowed from other games, mostly Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering. Well, mostly Hearthstone, to be honest. So what does this do? It's an ongoing effect. If your opponent doesn't damage you on their turn, sacrifice this and summon a Priest of the Moons in each lane. Okay. Well, we're gonna damage him this turn, definitely. Okay, so we can play the Heavy Battle Axe, which is an item. You can see this little small text above, below the name, which says item. It's so small I didn't even notice it until I actively looked for it, because I couldn't figure out what's the difference between an item and an action. An action is a spell that has an immediate effect. An item is a buff you play on a creature and has an ongoing effect, like +4/+1. So we're gonna play this on... I've been disconnected. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool, not cool. What the hell? And now Bethesda.net wants to update, so that's brilliant. Okay, it did. I wonder if I can continue this battle. If not, I may have to restart recording, because this is pretty dumb. Can we please... Okay. So far, so good. We're back into the game. I can continue. Awesome. Okay, cool. So what I was about to say is I should play the Heavy Battle Axe on one of my creatures. I think it's better to split your power, so give it to this guy who's a little weaker, or was a little weaker, now he's stronger. And I attack face. And now something happened. This little, what do I call, rune? Yeah, runes. So everyone starts with 30 HP and 5 runes. Every 5 HP you lose, one rune is destroyed. And when a rune is destroyed, you gain a card. You could see the opponent got a card there. And it has some other effects as well. But mainly you get a card. There are cards that trigger on that effect, and there are cards that benefit from runes destroyed. So like this card gets +1/+0 for every rune destroyed on your opponent, stuff like that. Not a lot of them, but I saw at least 2 or so. And the other thing that works with that is a prophecy ability, which is one of the stupidest thing I've seen in this game so far. I don't like this mechanic at all. So prophecy, you may play this for free when drawn from rune loss. So when you lose a rune, as mentioned, you get a card. If that card has prophecy written on it, you can play it instantly for free. So the upside of this is kind of interesting because it can interrupt the opponent's turn. So when you attack the opponent and you deal a lot of damage, like you have 5 creatures and you want to go to face with all of them, then you have to consider that your attack might get interrupted by a prophecy card. But then again, it's so unlikely if you only have like 1 or 2 prophecy cards in your deck to actually draw them. I don't know, I don't like the ability at all. It's weird. It's like, it's super random, especially clashing with the rest of the game, because most of the game is actually less random than Hearthstone. But then there are some things like the prophecy ability, which is crazy random. Like that's an insane amount of RNG coming into play, so that's a little strange. Also, you maybe wonder what the second player advantage is in this game. It's this thing up here. It's called the Elixir of Magicka. Whoever goes second gets this with 3 charges, and everyone acts as like the coin in Hearthstone, so 1 extra Magicka for this turn. So basically you get 3 coins, which sounds pretty crazy, but since the game is a little, like, has a different game flow, I guess, and is a little bit different paced, I think it's not as bad as it is in Hearthstone. It's not as bad as it sounds. I mean, like, it's not like just a Hearthstone advantage ×3. It's not that crazy. It still feels a little strong. I'm not sure. I didn't play too much of the game to really make like a good statement here, which I could be like 100% sure. But it feels like going second is an advantage in this game. But I might be wrong about that one, because I didn't play too much PvP yet. I mainly played the story campaign. So he played 3 creatures, and in Hearthstone I could attack them now, but I can't because Shadowlight, they're clouded, so I cannot actually attack them. So I go for face, which will again destroy rune and maybe trigger a prophecy card. I should probably play something, shouldn't I? Grath, Ward, Ambushes. Summon deal 1 damage to all enemy creatures in this lane. That sounds decent. It will at least kill this one. Summon, give other friendly creatures in this lane +1/+1. Oh yeah, that's another one of the random RNG abilities. Actually, yeah, those are the two that are in there. It's the prophecy thing, and it's the abilities that look at the top card of your deck and check the color of the card. I think there are 5 colors or 6 colors or something along those lines, and then there are neutral cards as well. And yeah, you check it. Well, you don't actually see the card, the game checks it for you, and if it's the right color, you get in some buff. Same with this one, it gets breakthrough and +3/+0 when the top card is a red one. I think we go with the Gravewood Ambusher though, even though it only kills 1 creature, but that's better than nothing. It's a good use of our Magikarp, so we end the turn, and it's our opponent's turn. So what I like about the rune thing, well, like and dislike at the same time actually, is it creates an interesting choice. What I've seen in the few matches I played in PvP so far is that a lot of people are actually not going for face when they could in a lot of situations because they're scared of a prophecy card, or they're scared that you get a lot of cards, because that's one of the things with the runes. When you get behind, if you lose a lot of HP, you get a lot of cards, which kind of brings you back into the game because, well, more cards is always good, right? It gives you more choice, and also it stops you from running out of cards, which is obviously a thing you want to avoid. So gaining more cards when you get behind gives you, like, it's kind of a comeback mechanic or a rubber band effect, I guess. So people, I saw a lot of people trying to not actually go, like, attacking me in the face when they actually could, because they destroyed all my creatures. Instead, increase their board advantage and their board control, and then finish me off in 1 or 2 turns when they have, like, a lot of creatures on the board. That's interesting because it's an interesting decision to make in certain situations. Is it worth it? Or do I risk going for face and triggering a prophecy card, or giving him a card in general? Or do I wait and don't attack? So that's interesting because it adds another layer of choice. But then again, it's kind of lame because it creates those situations where you are behind quite a bit and your opponent has like 5 creatures on the board and you don't have anything, and he's still not attacking, and he's prolonging the game because he don't want to risk to lose. Which is weird. It feels quite boring. Then again, it gives you that slight chance of getting like somehow back into the game by, yeah, getting the good cards, because he prolonged the game. Like, you have a few more turns to live. So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm still not sure if I like the mechanic or not. Like, I like the idea, but I hate that it creates those situations where the game gets prolonged, even if it shouldn't really. But yeah, it's the most, well, with the lanes, those are the 2 unique mechanics. I think the rest is borrowed from mostly Hearthstone or Magic. So yeah, the lanes and the rune things. That's the unique things you see in this game. Everything else you've seen before, probably. So let's play this one. Why is it glowing? I'm not sure. Actually, maybe because it's like a foil card or something. Yeah, it seems to be. Summon. If you have more HP than your opponent, draw 2 cards. Oh, wait, I'm definitely going to do that. Let's play him in the shadow lane. Why not? He's checked out my wood elf over here, so I cannot attack with that. But I got a bunch of cards. Take face again, and this should be really easy. So, as mentioned, this is part of the story campaign, which has 20 battles basically, and a story going on with cutscenes and dialogue. Not the most awesome story I've seen so far, but it's a story, so that's cool. Having a single player content in a CCG, I really like that. I know a lot of people don't care for that at all, and that's why a lot of CCGs don't have it. I mean, yeah. Magic never had that. I was tempted to say Magica, but that's either the mana in this game or a completely different game. So I should really say Magic. So yeah, a lot of people don't care, but I really like single player CCGs. So I appreciate the story campaign. However, it's bloody easy. It's ridiculous. I did not lose 1 mission so far, and that and it only got a little challenging in the last few levels because I stopped improving my deck. Throughout the campaign, you unlock multiple new decks. That's what it was, the word I was looking for. And yeah, you so those are like there are different starter decks. I'm trying to commentate and play at the same time and fail horribly at it. So sorry for that. So you unlock multiple starter decks, and for the first few levels, I just took my first starter deck and improved it with the cards I got from cards you got from the missions, or you got packs and the cards I got from the packs and stuff like that, and improved the deck. And the game was really easy. And then I stopped doing that, picked one of the new fresh decks I just got, and just stick with that without modifying it. The deck is not the decks were not terrible, like the starter decks were not terrible, but obviously they were not optimized and not brilliant either. So that put myself on an arbitrary disadvantage, basically, to make it a little bit more challenging. And I still didn't lose one match so far, and I'm almost through the campaign. So it's bloody easy, and that's a shame, really. However, keep in mind, this is beta, so they might change the balancing of that. And we're gonna skip the story thingy. Oh yeah, when I said cutscenes earlier, I meant something like this, so moving pictures, basically. Can I not skip this? Apparently not. Interesting. So, yeah. Not really a cutscene, I guess.
Somehow the Dominion could predict his forces' every move.
Slight story spoilers, I guess.
And discover the source of this ability.
Sorry for that. I would skip it, but I can't really. Why can I not skip this? You can skip the intro cutscenes for every mission. Come on.
Swims at night would lead them to a secret passageway into the White Gold Tower.
There we go. Okay, did it. And no, I can skip this one. Weird. So yeah, you can skip the intro cutscene, but not the one for completing the level. Weird. So yeah. It just threw me, like, that's weird as well. If you go back in a story campaign mission, it doesn't go back to the mission screen, like to the story screen. So it doesn't go back to this screen where you can choose the current mission or chapter. It goes back to the main menu, and I did it again, didn't I? Oh, actually, now it goes back to this menu. Weird. It's a little inconsistent. So, yeah. So this is the story campaign, the single player campaign. As you can see, 20 missions, 3 acts, and a few cutscenes. And you get mini cutscenes at the start and end of every chapter as well. So there's actually a bunch of story. Only 20 matches, and the first 14 at least were bloody easy. So I don't expect it to get way more challenging than that, but you never know. So that's a shame. I hope they improve that before full release. So let's talk about the other game modes and features and stuff like that, shall we? So there are 4 game modes. Basically, this is PvP. Well, actually there are 5 because this is 2 game modes. So you have practice up here, where you play against a bot, just regular 1v1 player versus bot. Then you have player versus player, either casual or ranked. It's very similar to Hearthstone, actually, like even the game modes, because this is arena, and it's even called arena. So this is the regular arena against other players, which works exactly the same as in Hearthstone, exactly the same. And this one is the solo arena, which works a little different. You play against bots, so that's interesting. I can't actually start it because I don't have the gold to buy arena ticket, unfortunately. But it works a little different than the solo arena, the player arena, the versus, because you start, like, usually your decks have 50 cards. In arena, you only pick 30 there, and you play with a 30-card deck. In the solo arena, you start with 30 cards, and after every victory, you gain another choice, so another card to add to your deck, and you have up to 10 battles, so you end up with a 40-card deck in the end, and you improve your deck, or, well, not necessarily improve, but you put new cards in your deck every time you win, which is interesting. And it's not like in the versus arena, you obviously play against another random player. In the solo arena, you have multiple pre-defined enemies you have to beat, basically, and a boss battle in the end, which is kind of tough. So it's actually kind of neat. I think it's there for people who don't like PvP but like drafting. I think that's why it is there. I'm not sure if that's a lot of people, but it's pretty well done. Like, it's even more, like, it's more in depth than the versus arena because of those, like, you have those predefined matches, you have to play against different decks and stuff like that, and you have this improve your deck while you play thingy. Well, not while you play, but between matches thingy going on, which is kind of neat as well. So it's kind of more in depth than the versus arena. But yeah, it's a single player arena mode. It costs the same though, either 150 gold or $3. You gain similar rewards as well. You gain, it's again similar to Hearthstone. You gain the same things. You gain gold. You gain what's it called? It's not called dust in this game, but the resource you use to craft cards. You gain a pack, at least one, or I think you sometimes get random not in the arena. I think no, I think you get only random cards in the story mode. So yeah. Also, there are a few cards that can be upgraded, and again get upgraded. I'm not sure how that works actually, but sometimes you finish a story mode mission and it shows one of your cards and it gets upgraded to a better version. So yeah, there are cards that are just plain stronger than others. It's pretty rare though. Most of them are kind of balanced, quote unquote, more or less, I guess. So this is the main menu. It's mainly this picture, which you cannot do anything with for some reason. So all the clickable things are down here. Behind the camera is the gold count and the friend menu button. And then you have your profile over here, which you can check. And you can see your avatar. You can change it as well, I think. Yeah, you can choose your race. Actually, a lot of different choices. Like, there are a lot of different races, and every race has 4 different pictures. Which is kind of cool. And the pictures look pretty good as well, in my opinion. Like, I'm not an Elder Scrolls nerd at all. Like, I think I never really played an Elder Scrolls game. I tried to play Skyrim and got bored after an hour of fighting skeletons in a tomb. In a tomb. I really liked the beginning. The intro with the dragons was amazing, but after that, the gameplay was not my thing. Let's put it that way. Not my cup of tea at all. So, yeah, you can choose your avatar here. You can also choose a title. You have to unlock them, though. For example, for like some special... Like, basically, those are achievements. Complete Chapter 8, defeat your opponent in 6 turns or less, win a game without taking damage. Then a bunch of stuff like play 50 blood magic spells, or participate in the beta. I'm in maybe the close beta. Maybe. Do 120 damage with Iron Atronach. Whatever that is. Cool. Summon 30 orcs with Godwalk Grown Nagorm, yeah, and stuff like that. And give 1 point of health with Elixir of Vigor, okay. Complete 60 Thief Guild quests, stuff like that. So you get a bunch of different titles you can choose from, which is kind of neat, I guess. It's a good way of doing achievements, I think. And you have a bunch of boring stats, I guess. And the match history, I lost a lot, as you can see. So there's that. You have daily quests, again very similar to Hearthstone. You get 1 every day. You complete them, you get gold, stuff like that. You can see your current rank and stuff like that. The progress in your collection. There's the different rarities. Common, rare, epic, and legendary, I believe. Yeah. Oh, that's stats. And yeah, that's your profile. Well, my profile. Then you have the shop over here, which is obviously important because it's a collectible card game, and similar to Hearthstone, you have to buy things. So you can buy packs either for 100 gold. It's even the same amount of gold for the various things like arena entry and packs as in Hearthstone. Like, they just copy-pasted most of the stuff. Like, they took Hearthstone, thought, wouldn't it be cool to have different lanes? And wouldn't it be cool to have runes? Okay. And then they just took the rest from Hearthstone, basically. Not really, obviously. They use their own cards and they use their own art and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is that they use a lot of the meta mechanics and even the in-game mechanics as well. Like, the core gameplay is very similar to Hearthstone, but less random for the most part. So you can buy packs, as you can see the prices down here. 2 packs for $3, 60 packs for $70, or 100 coins. Or you can buy arena tickets. You can do so by just clicking on arena as well, though that's usually easier. The menu is really nicely animated, but it takes its time to switch between the different screens, and that's a little annoying, to be honest. It takes a little too long, in my opinion. Like, I like good screen transitions, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they should last longer than like 300 milliseconds, maybe 500 top. So yeah. You can either buy 1 arena ticket for $2 or 6 for $10. And you can use them either for the solo or for the versus arena. And then there are codes if you got a promo code or something along those lines. And I guess that's actually why you can buy arena tickets in the shop, because you can buy six in a bulk. instead of buying them one by one, which is more expensive. Then let's take a look at the collection. That's always important. So the deck editor for this game is, I've seen way worse. It's not brilliant though. It's okay. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But for like a polished game like this, I would have expected a little better. So you have a bunch of filters and stuff like that, so that works. And you can actually only... Oh, I didn't know. You cannot select multiple mana, because you can only select one. So that would be an improvement, for example. Turn off the filter. So you can see the different colors up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. This is a color as well, right? No, this is not a color, actually. Oh yeah, those are dual cards. So 5 colors. Then there are dual cards, dual color cards, and then there are neutral cards as well. So... yeah, and oh, I forgot to mention the hero thing. If you create a new deck, let's actually do that and demonstrate. Why not?
Add a favorite card from your collection to your deck.
Why is it not asking for a hero? Weird. Let's just pick.
Decks can use 2 attributes, so you can use the same attribute or a different one.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to explain. Basically, you in a single player, you choose a hero at the beginning. Well. No, wait. Somewhere you choose a hero, but I'm not sure if you're doing the single player, because there you just choose your avatar. I forgot. Somewhere you choose a class. And the class is basically the 2 colors. Oh, I remember. You do so in the arena. That's what it was. Sorry for the brain phrase. But in the arena, you choose a class in the beginning, and the class says you use those 2 colors. So every deck is limited to 2 colors and neutrals, which is different to Hearthstone. Yay! But then you have no class abilities. So yeah. Anyway, it's similar to Magic actually. Without like Magic didn't have any limitations, but besides that, you have 5 colors and you can combine them, and you have dual cards and stuff like that. And you usually combine 2 in Magic as well. That was the most common way of building a deck, so, or still is probably, I don't know, I didn't play Magic for a long time, I don't know. So, yeah. Shut up, tutorial. So now I picked 2 colors, now I'm limited to those. And yeah, as I said, the deck editor is not bad. For some reason, like the transition between the different cards looks weird. I don't know, I like the swiping thing that Hearthstone does better. Oh no, Hearthstone does the flipping of the book page. That's really good because it shows, like, the animation shows you what happens. In this one, they just fade out and new ones pop up, and there is no page number either, as far as I can see. So yeah, it's weird. So if you can take a look up here. So for example, okay, I scroll once. It goes to the blue one, and now I scroll again. It still is on the blue one because there are more than 10 blue cards available. And then I go again, it goes to neutral. So, I don't know. There's no page indicator, at least none that I can see. That's a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. This is the resource Soul Gems that is used to craft cards, by the way. And see unknown. Oh, yeah, there we go. We can activate the ones we don't have, and we can choose to craft them if we want. Soul Summoned, we craft it for 50 souls, or we can, if we have it, destroy it for 5. I'm not sure if there's a button to that one. Maybe premium. Let's see, unknown premium. What are premium cards? I'm not sure. I never saw this button before. What are premium cards? I don't see any. Maybe like promo cards you get for... Oh, there's one. No, you can buy it though. Oh, you turned this off. Oh, wait, that's actually... No, oh, if I turn this off, it turned off the other one as well. So, what are promo cards? Oh, it's the shiny ones, I think. Yeah, it's just the shiny ones. Okay, never mind then. Okay, I thought that would be some hidden pay-to-win feature or something. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, you have card crafting. You have a nice overview of your mana distribution, or magicka I should say, and as I said earlier, you can put 50 cards in your deck. You can put more in. That's usually like, well, that's usually how it works, but Hearthstone doesn't do it. In Hearthstone you're limited to 30 and 30 only. This one you can pick 50 or can pick more. Usually people stick to the smallest number allowed because it makes your deck more reliable, but yeah, you can go above that if you want to. And 50 cards is more than enough. Like, I never saw a deck run out of cards, not even close, I think. You get more cards than in Hearthstone usually, though, because of the rune mechanic, which gives you new cards every time you lose 5 hit points. And matches tend to go away quicker than Hearthstone as well. So that's a thing to be noted. A thing to be said. It's important, I think, because in Hearthstone matches, some matches take a long time. And in this game, I never actually reached the 12 Magicka mark, I think. It always ended before that. So usually it only goes like 8 turns or something along those lines, sometimes 10, and that's it. And most, or at least when I played Hearthstone, which is like a year ago or something, I don't know, most matches took longer than, more than 10 turns, so yeah. Anyway, so that's the deck editor. Cool. It's okay. It's not terrible. And then we have open pack screen. And I have a few packs, so let's do a pack opening, right? People like to watch that for some reason. It's only crap. Well, nothing special at least. Like we got commons and uncommons. Yay. The animation is kind of nice though, to say. And again, nothing special. Give me a good card. Come on, legendary. Nope. Only commons and uncommons. Well, so much for that. What a shame. Anyway, yeah, it's called Elder Scrolls Legends. It's in open beta right now. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. It's I hate to say it, but it's basically Hearthstone with less RNG and a few unique ideas. And a bunch of mechanics stolen, or borrowed, not stolen, but borrowed from Magic as well, I guess. It's kind of cool. It's fairly in-depth. Oh, well, I forgot one big topic I wanted to talk about. I should make a list, right? So I don't forget important things. I wanted to talk about card effects, card abilities. Let's go through that's not the deck editor. Let's go to the deck editor for that. So, my biggest complaint actually about the game is that most cards are boring as fuck. They're really, really boring. While I talk, I would just slowly scroll through and you can read a few of them if you want to. So most cards are really, really boring. A few of them have interesting abilities. Getting buffs depending on the number of runes destroyed, for example. That's an interesting ability. Or there are a few cards that allow you to swap other cards between the two lanes and things like that. So a few ones are really interesting and play with the new mechanics this game has. But most of them are something like this. +3/+0. Deal 2 damage to a creature. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Sacrifice a creature to deal 5 damage to a random enemy creature. Shackle an enemy creature. Most of them are really, really straightforward. And don't get me wrong, for a collectible card game, it's important to have a bunch of regular cards that don't have any crazy effects. But so far, it didn't saw, like really, 95 at least, if not more, % of the cards are really, really mundane. Nothing crazy about them at all. Nothing interesting. It's always straightforward. You have guard, you have ward, which is what's it called in Hearthstone? Oh, I forgot. The one it blocks one attack basically. You have a few ones that have some effects, like they summon another card and stuff like that. That's kind of interesting. Also, there's one keyword which is actually interesting as well. Last gasp. Well, it's not actually. It's in Hearthstone as well. Now that I try to explain it, it's a death rattle. It does something when it dies. But there are a few ones that are kind of interesting. What does this do? Summon, draw a card. Last gap, shuffle a 0-cost elusive schemer into your deck. Okay, so you get the card again with 0 mana in your deck. That's kind of interesting, I guess. So yeah. After Breton Conjurer loses a ward, summon a 5/5. 5/5 Frost at Tronage with guard. That's cool. So you can combo this with spells that give you guard. What's going on? So yeah, but as you can see, most of the cards are really, really straightforward and really, really boring. So that's actually my biggest complaint. And it's beta, they can improve. And in general, collectible card games tend to get new cards regularly, so they still can add, obviously, and will add more cards, and hopefully they will add more interesting ones, because then the game actually gets a little better, I think, and doesn't get too boring. So yeah, it's very similar to Hearthstone, but with less RNG, except for the prophecy mechanic and the look at the top card of your deck mechanic. But I think in total it's still less RNG than in Hearthstone. You don't have all those crazy... oh wait, I forgot. You have a bunch of spells and abilities that deal damage to a random creature as well. But still, it feels like less cards rely on RNG than they do in Hearthstone. And obviously, there's still a big part of RNG because it's a collectible card game, right? You draw a card from your deck. But overall, it feels like there's less RNG. Anyway, there's still RNG in there, obviously. So, yeah, okay. I think it's enough now, and I can wrap this video up. A little unstructured, sorry for that, but yeah. Anyway, I think I got my point across. It's called Elder Scrolls Online. The link is in the description below. You can check it out yourself, or you can wait for release. And it's kind of cool, but if you're sick of Hearthstone already, you're probably not interested in this either. If you're not sick of Hearthstone, you're probably playing Hearthstone. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan, though, or if you hate the crazy stuff in Hearthstone, or you just hate the funny theme in Hearthstone, because this one is way more serious, then this might be a good alternative to you. Or if you just like want to play another CCG because you played Hearthstone so much that you're looking for new cards to, for new combos to figure out and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty well implemented. It's highly polished. It looks good. The mechanics are, well, tested in a lot of other CCGs for the most part. And the 2 new ones they added are fairly interesting, I have to say. The lane one is cool, and the rune one is interesting at least. Has some downsides though, as mentioned earlier. It can prolong matches unnecessarily, which is a little annoying. But besides that, I like it, but I'm probably not going to play more of it because I was sick of Hearthstone a year ago. So, yeah, I might finish the campaign, actually. But it's so bloody easy. I hope they make the difficulty higher because it's really ridiculously easy. I didn't even try. But, yeah. I am TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked this video, feel free to press the like button if you didn't press the dislike button as well. And if you press the like button, maybe consider subscribing as well because, well, I make those kind of videos about a lot of different games, mostly indie games, but everything that kind of catches my attention. That's the word. And yeah, I said that already, right? Thanks a lot for watching. I probably said that already. I tend to say that a lot. So have fun and see you next time.